Want to welcome everyone to the Reflect and Restore session, where our fearless leader, Tracy Penny Light, is going to be leading us in some restorative practice. Transcriptions are enabled for accessibility. And if you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and add them in the chat. I'm going to be monitoring that, and we'll make sure Tracy has some time to speak back to them at the end. And with that, I'll hand it off to you.
Great. Thanks, Amy. Welcome everyone to this session. This is a session style that we introduced a couple of years ago at ABLE, probably in the height of the pandemic, when we recognized that all of us needed a little bit of opportunity to step back and sort of restore ourselves in the midst of all of our online conferencing. So we've decided to continue it again this year. So this will be an opportunity for you to both reflect on your conference experiences and other things that you might want to start, stop, or continue to help you thrive in the work that you do and in your own personal life. And it'll be an opportunity as well for you to have a short restorative meditation practice so that you can kind of explore what that's like as well. So, I'm really happy to be facilitating this session, and the goal is really focusing on you. So that is a bit of an atypical goal, I think, sometimes at a conference, but if you can just give yourself the time and space to focus on who you are and what will enable your well-being, I think you're going to be in good shape. So I love to always ask this question when I'm running any kind of mindfulness or restorative session. And that comes from one of my favorite teachers, Raquel Bueno, and she asked this question: what do you need more of to thrive? And I love this question, and it's one that I asked myself kind of in an iterative way. So I'm trying to remind myself to ask this question on a regular basis, to really think about what I'm doing in a given moment on a day-to-day basis and over the year to really foster my own well-being. And I love this quote from James Clear, where he says, "Your current habits are perfectly designed to deliver your current results." So if you're not engaging regularly in mindfulness, meditation, or restorative practices, whatever that looks like for you, it doesn't have to be yoga focused, you're probably getting the results based on that. So this is an opportunity to sort of build a bit of skill. I also love this notion that every action we take is a vote for the person we want to become. So I am somebody who tends to be fairly busy and fully engaged in my day-to-day life. And so I know for me, it's a regular practice to build in time in my day to really reflect on what I'm doing both professionally and personally, and to create some space for things that I need when I feel a little out of sync. So here's a little inspiration for you. Some of you know me that I'm a big fan of different card decks, and the 3 cards on the left come from an inspiration deck, a creativity deck that is called the Sovereign Oracle. I highly recommend it. It's really tiny and can sit on your desk or travel with you. I like to pull a card every day just to sort of see what's in the cards and to inspire me for my work in the day ahead. So these are 3 cards that sort of encourage us to reproduce, to master, and to travel. And I also love this idea of giving whatever it is the time it needs. And hopefully we'll do that today. So I want to just encourage you to take a few minutes. This is the reflect part, to think about your conference experience so far and beyond. So you might also think about your daily life leading up to now. What do you want to start, stop, and continue? And it'll just be an opportunity for you to jam a little in a second. So what do you want to start, stop, and continue? And I like to keep this notion of what do you need more of to thrive in mind as I'm thinking about what to start, stop, and continue. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get us set up on the Jamboard. So I've populated it with that prompt for you so that you can see. I'm going to just stop sharing this screen and share another. Hopefully you're seeing the Jamboard there. So whenever you're ready, after you've had your little reflection time, you can just think about what you might want to start doing to encourage your own well-being and personal growth, what you might want to stop doing, and what you'd like to continue doing. I'm seeing some great things pop up in the chat. Oh, I love the stop. Trying to multitask. It's not a thing, right? I think we all probably know that intuitively, but we know that multitasking is actually not possible. So focusing on a single task at a time is really helpful. Stop taking on too much. Say no more often. Yes, very easy. Easier said than done. I think feeling like everyone's stress is my stress. Yes, if you are an empathic person, it's easy to take that on. Wasting time on my phone. I don't know if anyone is I'm visiting my family right now, and I have some family members that are huge TikTokers, and I don't have TikTok, but it seems like a big time suck. So I'm glad I'm not going to install it. Set realistic limits. Yeah. Start doing more yoga and dog walks. Okay, great. End each work day with a reflection. I love that. One thing that was shared in a previous session like this was that someone had a gratitude jar, and so every day would put something that they were grateful for into the jar, and they would read it daily to each other. Just thought that was fantastic. Take better care of myself. Yeah, if you are interested in forming good habits, I really recommend James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, if you haven't read it. It's a great reminder that we don't have to try to do the full on, I'm going to do all the things, but really just doing very small things on a regular basis can be helpful. Going to concerts. Yeah, I love that. I intend to start taking myself into consideration when agreeing to work, my needs in addition to the organization's needs. Love it. Start giving back. Yeah. Pacing better. Yeah. Oh, start creating your own portfolio. Yes, please. As portfolio practitioners and advocates, it's really important to practice what we preach. And I love continuing things like taking notes and screenshots as you go, continue finding balance in your work day, being mindful, exercising and getting together with friends. Love, love, love. So it seems like you all have some good ideas in mind, and I'm going to encourage you to feel free to come back to this Jamboard and remind yourself what you jammed on, and maybe make it a little contract with yourself to just be consistent, even if it's 1 or 2 minutes a day. It helps. One thing that I have found really helpful is I just do every night before bed, do a little sleep meditation that I stick on. I have Insight Timer, and it doesn't take me any effort at all. I'm already in bed in my cozy nook. So it's really easy to do that. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. Now I just have to figure out how to make it stop share. Practice using Zoom more. You'd think that after all this time, we would, I would be better at the Zoom and moving from screen to screen, but still working on that. So I want to just encourage us to have a bit of time now for a restorative practice. Although as I set things up, please feel free to interrupt and share any thoughts that you have about that first reflection part. Okay, we're going to carry on. So this is our opportunity to really take an opportunity to build in a restorative practice. And I'm going to show you how and let you experience how it just takes 5 minutes, in the middle of your day to really regulate your breath. We talk a lot about breathing in meditation and mindfulness practice because it really is our anchor, our tether to being more grounded. And when we breathe, of course, we're breathing all the time, every day, but when we're intentional about noticing our breathing, it gives us an opportunity to really focus on not just the inhales, but more importantly, the exhales. So when we can lengthen our exhales or keep them calm and steady, it stimulates our vagus nerve, and that calms our parasympathetic nervous system. And so that's a really powerful practice that we can engage in at any point during the day. Sometimes I find I'm standing in the line at the grocery store and it's just, I can just become aware of my breath and all of a sudden feel my feet rooted on the earth and feel really grounded. So hopefully you'll get to enjoy this practice, have a little bit of calm in your day. So as we get set up, you can feel free to turn your camera off, to close your eyes. If you're seated, you can stay there. If you're in a space where it's easy for you to lie down on the floor or get comfy in a favorite chair, whatever works for you is just fine. You just want to set yourself up in a comfortable space where you can focus on your breathing. Okay, so if you are inclined to look at the screen, you can kind of watch the glowing orb just kind of moving in front of you, but also no need to do that at all. First, try wherever you are to stack your shoulders over your hips. And if you're on the floor, you might just take a minute to open your arms wide and just kind of feel that expansive feeling across your chest. Do it seated as well. And then sink your shoulder blades down onto your back. So that'll move the tops of your shoulders just away from your ears. And think about moving the crown of your head a little closer to the sky, lengthening the space between your vertebrae. Just begin to notice your breath. There's no need to control it in any way at all here. Just notice that you're doing it. And please, everyone, just take a big, deep inhale together. And an exhale, let it go. We're going to breathe together for a few rounds of breath. So listen to the sound of my voice. One more time, let go of anything that you've got that you're hanging on to. And begin. Inhale. Pause at the top of your inhale. And slowly exhale. Let that breath go out the mouth. Pause at the bottom of your exhale. And then inhale again. Big breath in. You notice the chest expand as you inhale. Hold for a brief pause at the top of your inhale. And then exhale, let it go out the mouth. Pausing at the bottom of the exhale. One more time, big deep inhale. And a nice slow exhale out the mouth. Then continue breathing at your own pace. With intention, with a little pause at the top of your inhale. And then a pause at the bottom of your exhale. And continue to breathe. And when you take your next inhale, maybe notice the sensation of the air moving in to your nostrils. And as you exhale, the sensation of the air moving out of the nostrils, maybe just on the top of your upper lip. And with your next inhale, notice the crown of your head. Maybe you can feel it moving closer to the sky. And as you exhale, a more grounded, heavy feeling coming into your sit bones or wherever you're connected to the earth. On your next inhale, notice your face. As you exhale, maybe you can soften your cheekbones, release and let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. As you inhale next, move your attention to your shoulders. And as you exhale, feel them just move away a little bit more from your ears. Next, inhale brings your attention to your heart center, center of your chest. And as you exhale, bring all of that restorative energy into the cave of your heart and plant it there. Inhale breath into your pelvis. And exhale again, feel the sit bones root. Send the tailbone toward the earth through whatever you're seated on, or if you're lying down, tuck it toward your feet. Inhale, notice the tops of your thighs. Exhale, see if you can find a little more rest. Finally, inhale, move to your feet. And as you exhale, feel them heavier, more grounded, either soles on the floor or heels on the floor. Take a few more deep breaths here. And as you breathe, just scan the body with your mind's eye and notice if there's any places that you can find just a little more softness and ease. Now that you've found yourself in a restful, restored state, take one more big, deep inhale and a long, slow exhale. If your eyes are closed, you can slowly float them open. Just notice how you're feeling. Hopefully good. And I'll just invite you now to ask any questions or to reflect on how you're feeling in this moment. I always feel a little tingly after I'm focused on my breath. Amy too, I can see, which is good. It's nice to be reminded that we are alive and all is well. Would anyone like to share?
I'll just share. It's nice to have intentional slowing down. I think as administrators and instructors and faculty, we're going all the time. So I appreciated the opportunity to pause.
Thanks, Amy. Yeah, right. I mean, just closing our doors, that, you could do that. We were, doing that for about 5 minutes, but even 2 or 3 cycles of breath just make a world of difference. I'm also a big fan of going outside. So as also somebody who might get stuck in their office all day long, just that intentional moving out of the building, taking a breath of fresh air and moving back can be really powerful. And green things also are fantastic for our attention and awareness. So if you've got a nice plant in your office, or maybe you should get one, just having a look at that green growing thing for a minute or two is really helpful. So I wanted to just share with you also some resources. And of course, these slides will be available after today's session, and you'll continue to have access to the Jamboard. So I hope that this was a helpful practice, and that you continue to focus on your own well-being and the things that you need more of to thrive, so that you can be really the leaders that the world needs in helping everyone to make meaning and deep connections between and among their learning experiences. Thank you so much for joining me in today's Reflect and Restore session. I would be more than happy to chat with you about this after. And I wish you all the very best in your ePortfolio initiatives, and also hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you so much.